You're watching Everfree Radio. Everybody, welcome back to the West Coast, San Jose, California. Your boy Dusty, right here for you on Monday night. How has your 2 weeks been? How's your 2 weeks been? You been having a good time? We've had conventions everywhere. TrotCon was last weekend. Everybody who went had a great time, I hear. Equestria Girls premiere happened. That happened. We'll talk about a little bit of that. But right now, I am here with the lovely and talented Princess Celestia herself, Nicole Oliver. Nicole. Hello. How are you?
I'm brilliant.
Brilliant, she says. Oh, I am awesome. I hear your cashews.
Sorry, I'm eating cashews because I just did a run.
Yes.
And I would have to have protein.
Get that protein. Get that protein in as fast as possible. Yes.
So I'll try not to chew too loud.
Okay. Not a problem. You know what? The princess can eat her cashews on her throne whenever she wants to. The rest of this, we royal guard will stand there and guard the cashews.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's go right into it because we got a wonderful slate of questions right here for you. You know what? Doing some research on you, amazing the things that you do and into.
Okay.
First one. You're on the negotiation committee for the Union of British Columbia Performers? Still?
I kind of stepped back from that.
Oh.
For years I've been traveling a lot, but yeah, I did labor negotiations for a long time.
Wow. Tense in those bargaining negotiations up there? As bad as Hollywood? You know?
Oh, really tense. Really, it's really tense.
Mm.
Can you hear me a little bit better?
Yep, a little bit better.
Good. I think the most powerful time we had was when the folks from SAG and after I came up and joined us up here, and we all walked into the room together and kind of stood side by side to make our point. And I think our point was made.
Nice.
Can't bully us around.
Yes. So the studios have learned to fear you.
I don't know about fear, but maybe they'll listen a little more.
That would be nice. After you got your master's degree, you attended the Drama Academy of Oxford, England. Drama. What makes an actor learn at an academy like what did you've got your master's, you've gone now to Oxford, England. What did you take from that? What was the big thing that you got going to England?
Well, I mean, I got my master's just a couple of years ago. I went to England after I got my bachelor's.
Oh, okay.
But I guess the thing for me, what did I get the most out of going to England?
Yeah. As an actor.
Oh, well, how to do the accent properly.
Well, there's that, yeah.
But for me, I just really, I got to work with actors from all around the world. So in my class were actors from Russia, from Italy, from the United States. There's a couple of us from Canada. And it just really taught me that, as artists, as performers, although we're very unique, each one of us, the challenges that you face as a performer are not just yours alone. Sometimes it feels like you're the only one with all the problems. And meet other actors who don't even speak your language, you realize that, art is challenging no matter what language.
Yeah.
Or no matter what culture it's in. And there's a sense of brother and sisterhood meeting other artists from around the world and realizing, okay, I'm not alone, I'm not crazy. And, yeah, so that was probably the biggest thing I took from it, was just, the sense of community, which, I value to this day.
Awesome. Hey, there's this really, what?
Sorry, I don't want to butt in, but people are saying that the audio seems to be very low for Nicole.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Nicole, get a little closer to the mic there, Nicole.
I'm right on top of my computer.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think I can. Interesting. Let me, no.
But
I'm going to go to my control bar here and see if I can.
Me too.
Yeah.
Just check up on your audio.
I'm going to turn that up just a little bit. Try it again.
hello.
Hello.
That's better. That's
You guys
better.
figured it out? All
Yep.
right, cool.
Yep. I just turned you up a little bit.
Yay!
We're good. Hey,
Love
there's this show up there called Seed,
Yes.
in which you play opposite a dashing leading young man named William Ainscoft.
Yes.
Tell us a little about how that worked out.
My son William, I have two boys, William and Grady. William last summer said he wanted to try what I do for a living, which is go on camera. And after I finished screaming and banging my head against the wall, I said, okay, we'll give you a try. You can go to an acting class and let's see how it works out. He went and, both my kids have been on sets with me since they were in my belly, and they've had opportunities that maybe other kids wouldn't have. They've been in, some independent films, or they've done some voice spots. So it's not completely foreign or a crazy idea that maybe, my kids might want to go into the business. But his first two auditions he booked, and it was
Nice.
it was a supporting lead in a film that's coming out later this summer or fall for Warner Brothers called Hidden, with Alexander Skarsgård. And then his second audition was for a half-hour sitcom up here called Seed, and he booked that. And then when the producers realized that I was his mama, they gave me a part of his teacher. So I was in a couple of episodes, and the show's been picked up for a second season. And
Nice.
so he's been having some incredible success for a kid who's just 9, but he really loves it, and so we'll support him.
Awesome. Sweet.
Yeah.
Does he ever kid you that he's been on all 13 episodes and you were only in a couple?
No, because I still make his dinner.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can't kid mom because she won't make you your favorite dinner.
No, he's got a really great attitude about it, and he has a lot of fun with it. And, what we're trying to do, my husband and I, are just trying to keep things as real and normal as possible, because being a child in this business is not normal.
Yeah.
And there's so many tragedies walking around out there right now that come in mind. So I'd really rather not contribute one more victim to that. So, I think if you have a strong parental support and strong sense of family, hopefully this will just be a really great memory for him. And if it ends up being his career, then so be it.
Cool. Hey, Nicole?
What?
Are you cracking those walnuts really close to your microphone?
No, I may have picked up my water to have a drink.
That's weird because we're getting a lot of crunchy noises on this end.
No.
No?
It could be maybe my my locket with my children's pictures in it.
Yeah, that might be it.
You think it's jangly bangly?
Dangly bangly, yeah. We got some dangly bangly going on. Oh yeah, that's a lot of that. There we go.
There you go.
Okay, we wanted to make sure it's nice and crystal clear so everyone can hear you. Sure. Okay, hey, what's this about a couple of closets full of shoes?
Oh, where did you read that?
Oh, I read that in certain places. We have deep moles that go deep in the internet. Deep.
Yeah, I love shoes. I love shoes.
Uh-huh.
I think we've talked about that a couple of times. It's something passion I think Andrea Libman and I both share is for shoes. Yeah, I have got I've managed to cut my collection down a little bit. Yeah, I love me my shoes. So
you and my girlfriend Amy get along. She has a pair of zombie pumps.
My goodness.
Yes, got teeth across the front, green. Oh, nice.
Zombie?
Zombie pumps, yes. I got to get you a picture of the zombie pumps.
Yes, you do. You have
Oh,
to
yeah.
send me a picture. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I'm afraid I only have Gucci or Prada. That's about as weird as I get. I don't
Gucci or
have
Prada? Ooh.
Yeah, it's very straightforward, but very lovely nonetheless.
Little Pet Shop. You are the leading character, Zoe Trent.
Zoe, yep.
Zoe, when you're in a role like that every episode, are you more involved in the show's production, or are you just showing up and doing the character?
Well, in general, as voice actors, we don't, unless you are a writer on the show, I mean, you're not really creating the characters, and the character's arc is created long before you show up.
Okay.
However, as a voice actor, or as an actor, you bring your personality, your stamp, and your interpretation, and that sometimes can affect how they write for the character in future episodes. So, I mean, certainly we worked really closely with the creators and trying to find a sound for her. I based her on Kim Cattrall from Sex and the City. That was a real kind of Samantha, that kind of tone, that playfulness, that for me, her voice print, and I think for the producers as well, really kind of rang true for them of how they wanted Zoe to sound. So, and I think it's I love Sex and the City. I love Kim Cattrall. She's Canadian. So it's all lined up really great. But yeah, it's a fun character. She's exhausting. Really? Lots of energy, and I mean in a good way exhausting, with lots of energy, and yeah, it's fun, and working with, it's a big cast, and we're all in almost every episode, so it's a lot of fun. As compared to My Little Pony, sometimes there's just 3 or 4 or 5 of us, but with Little Pet Shop, there could be up to 10 actors in the room.
Wow.
And that's kooky. Yeah.
That's a lot of actors.
Yeah.
There's another series that you did, 1001 Nights.
Oh, yeah.
In which you were the central figure, Shirazad, the storyteller. For shows like that, which you're like the lead character, I was also the narrator. She was like the narrator in that show, rather than the action. Do you perform the role differently when you become the narrator, also the actor and narrator on the show, or is it just you're going with the character and the narration flows as it flows?
Well, when you're told to narrate, or you're setting up, letting everybody know what the story is going to be about that they're about to watch. So you do need to be a little bit more clear, and make sure that the plot gets across, as opposed to maybe your character quirks and quirks, right? So certainly, if I was a character, I may put ums and ahs and weird pauses and run through periods and all the rest of it. But when like in that case, Shahrazad, she was narrating stories, telling stories. So it was really important to tell the story, make sure people knew what they were about to see. So it's a different approach, as opposed to maybe going from an emotion base, or going more from your brain, right? Factual. Yeah.
Cool. I just, Nicole, I have to ask you, the microphone that you're using, is it like on your headphones?
No.
It's crazy because we get a lot of like rustling paper sound when you talk.
I'm just sitting here in front of my computer.
That's weird. Maybe it's me. I don't know. Oh, we'll keep going. My fault.
Yeah, I don't have any paper around.
Nope, it's just, I don't know what's going on. I jinxed it.
I jinxed
it before the show. I'll tell you later. Reality TV. You put your dainty hoovies into reality TV for a little while with Crash Test Mommy. In where you were the hostess, the associate producer, and the field director. You were in that up to here. Tell us a little bit about that project, of how that came off.
Yeah, it was shortly after the birth of my second son, so around 2005, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my career. I wanted to change things up a little bit. I just had kids, and so trying to figure out what my next step would be. And the reality TV genre had really started to explode around that time. And a conversation with someone led to another conversation, and they were doing this show called Crash Test Mommy, which was about a woman, any mother who feels she gets criticized for her parenting. And so her biggest critic will step into her shoes for 48 hours and show really how easy it all is. And having two young children. I mean, when I started doing the show, my kids were 6 weeks and 20 months old.
Wow.
It appealed to me, the idea of kind of,
Mm-hmm.
supporting motherhood. And so we did the show. It was 52 hours produced television, and did it till my son Grady was 5 years old, and learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The reality genre is fun to watch. It's hard to be a part of because you're dealing with real people, and some of the situations were very emotional and like a script, or you know how it's going to end, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so that I found that really challenging. And while I would not say no to going back into the reality genre, I want to make sure that there was at least some protocols and procedures in place for people who were involved as participants if they felt they needed to get some extra help or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because you really dive into people's dirty clothes, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
and that's a big responsibility, and one I really didn't think about until I was stuck in the middle of it. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a fun experience for sure.
What was, as the fun experiences, what was the craziest, weirdest thing that happened on that show?
The time we took mother away, and her husband stayed at home with the kids, and then the mother's boyfriend showed up where we were. Yeah, that was a little weird.
Oh my! Yeah.
Yeah, that's ugly. That didn't make the final
That
TV
I
show.
bet didn't make the team. Oh no!
But that's when you just kind of go, really?
I think we're done now.
I'm going to go hide in the hotel room. Because I would take the moms to some really great resorts all around BC. Like we went to Whistler, which is a beautiful ski area, and we'd be given the, red carpet treatment. And so I guess this person felt the need to share it, but not with the person we all probably needed to share it with.
Ooh,
So
interesting.
yeah, that's weird. That's different.
That's weird and different. Early in your career, you did Masters of the Universe.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Queen Marlena.
Yeah, and the sorceress.
And the
yes.
sorceress.
Yes.
Were you a nice queen or an evil queen?
Well, Queen Marlena was a gentle queen. The
Yes.
sorceress was all powerful. She was
Yes.
fun. I mean, He-Man's such a huge franchise. It's been around for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a great honor to be asked to, do a character that was really well known in, animation circles and in fandoms and stuff. And they really wanted us to try and keep her voice consistent, which was a unique voice print. So I mean, it was a bit of a challenge trying to take something that's been around for so long. It's like someone says, "Hey, here, can you do Bugs Bunny?" But you can't change the voice because everyone knows what Bugs Bunny is supposed to sound like. So that show was great, but a challenge as a voice actor because I had to figure out a way to make it still part of me. Although it had been established long before I had even thought about being an actor. So
wow, cool. Little insight into taking over a role kind of thing. You were also in Kung Fu: The Legend Continues.
Yeah,
Several episodes of that.
That was my first job right out of theater school. Actually.
Did you actually do any martial arts on the show?
Just ducking and diving. And his dog. My character was a police officer, so I had some, didn't do any martial arts, but I had some chase bad guys stuff, shoot guns and that. But working with, David Carradine, again, another icon, right?
Right.
And for, your first job right out of school, it was pretty intimidating but pretty fantastic. And
wow.
Really solidified that I wanted to do it,
Nice.
So
Now, little known that you actually do Tai Chi and some Kung Fu, don't you?
I have done some martial arts. I've done Tai Chi. My grandma does Tai Chi.
Oh, okay.
My 96-year-old grandma still does Tai Chi. But for me, I was into kickboxing there for a while.
Okay.
And I can be a bit competitive and aggressive, so that those forms of martial arts are probably more suited to me than Tai Chi. Although I probably should do more Tai Chi.
A little Shaolin Kung Fu, maybe? Yes? A little tiger style? Yeah.
Yes. Snatch the pebble from my hand.
So tell us. Are you a ninja?
Shh. Yes, I am.
Awesome.
Don't tell anyone.
I won't. Okay. Sweet. You were in, there was a lot of Japanese overdub happening up there. Mazan Ikoku? Is that how I said it?
Yeah.
Lots of episodes of that. Like, how many were you in? It was huge.
You probably know, it was, it was huge. There's a lot of anime up here. There still is.
Yeah.
But back when I first came out to Vancouver to work, late 90s, there was a lot of anime going on. It had really taken off in the North American markets. And the thing with anime, though, is, unless you're when you get given the job, I mean, you need to do so much research just to figure out what's going on, because you only really do your lines, right? It's not like a prelay cartoon like My Little Pony, where you get the whole script and you record it all as a cast. So, you're interacting and you're really involved in the story, beginning, middle, and end. With anime, you're just doing your lines. So unless you can speed read, and they won't release the scripts for privacy and security, right? So unless you can speed read, sometimes you don't know what's happening until you actually get a chance to watch the show afterwards. So it's a little. I like anime. The challenge with that is trying to make English fit into another language, right? And have it make sense, and then still be able to do a performance. So it's I think anime is very technical. Yeah. Voice acting for anime is much more technical, and I think you need to have certain talents in that arena more than just, doing prelay or something like that.
Yeah, it was over 100 episodes, by the way, my research said.
Very good.
There's an upcoming project, and I don't know if we can talk about this. Max Steel?
Oh yeah, it's on Disney XD right now.
Yeah.
And I play a ninja. She's the mom of Max Steel, who's voiced by Andrew Francis.
Oh.
And but she's also a secret agent.
Secret agents. They're always secret agents.
And she does kung fu, and she's really badass. She's
kung
great.
fu.
So yeah, my character's name is Molly. So it's all full circle.
She does kung fu.
Yep. She does kung fu.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're first season is airing, and I am recording the second season. I think I can say that.
Nice. Yeah. Absolutely. Now Max Steel's a Mattel property. Oh, clever, working both sides of that Hasbro Mattel war.
Oh well, I don't have. I probably have stock in the company somewhere in my portfolio. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it is. They're such huge behemoths. It's like Pepsi, Coca-Cola. There's so much vertical integration, meaning that there's fewer companies owning so many companies, right? Everyone's kind of interrelated anyway. But I'm just, every time I get hired, I'm very thankful, and whoever my mom or dad is, I'll give them a hug. So thanks, Mattel, and thanks, Hasbro, and everyone get along.
Absolutely. Speaking of, what are your thoughts on how the fans react to Princess Celestia? How do you feel about that? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, I only really receive, positive feedback. I think anyone who has met me or follows me on Twitter, I really don't have a lot of time for. People are entitled to their opinion, but I'm not interested in negativity, and I'm not interested in any of that. So, I mean, if you don't like something, that's fine, but you don't need to get angry at someone else if they do like it, right?
Correct.
So, as far as I know, I have fans who like her, and I think she's a great character, and I think it's fun and exciting that people feel passionate about things and have created other creative endeavors from these characters. But, I just stay positive, so that's kind of where I live.
Yep, I do too. I love staying positive. The one character or person you would banish to the moon?
The Canadian Revenue Agency, also known as, like, your IRS.
Nice.
No. Stop taxing me! That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yes. Damn self-employment taxes.
I love the CRA. They're wonderful, and I always file on time. Okay, just in case.
Nice. Last question. Cheerily, as a teacher, you yourself, what grade, if you were going to go be a teacher, what grade would you like to teach, and why?
Oh, high school.
High school.
High school for sure. Yeah, I think it's really interesting when you can, we're in high school, you start to figure out kind of who you are, who you may be. You know, you actually can have opinions on things and back it up a little bit more. And I think that would be where I fit in most. I've always really been able to relate well to teenagers, and my niece, who was 18, just graduated from high school last week and went to her grad, and she's going to university and in France, and you know, she's like my daughter, a daughter that I don't have. So you know, that kind of 12 to 18 age group, I really can relate to, for sure.
Awesome.
But yeah.
Cool. So we are going to go to commercial, and when we come back, we are going to go through upcoming conventions. We're going to go through the charity, and we're going to get Screwball in here for you out there and your questions for this lovely lady. So don't go nowhere. We'll be back in about half a minute.
Cool.
Hello, mares. Look at your stallion. Now back to me. Back to your stallion. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But he could smell like me if he stopped using mare-scented body wash and switched to apple spice. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're in an orchard with a stallion your stallion could smell like. What's in your hoof? Back to me. I have it. It's 2 tickets to the Grand Galloping Gala. Look again. The tickets are now diamonds. Anything is possible when your stallion smells like apple spice and not a mare. I'm a horse.
And we're back. That's right. Apple Spice body wash. I use it every day. The mares come to my barn all the time. Trust me, Amy will tell you, it smells good. Now, all you humans out there, you go to WeLoveFine.com and you might find your Apple Spice. I know they got scents there. They just got toilet water, you know, just last month. So, but you can get all your t-shirts, you can get your backpacks, you can get all kinds of stuff. They got posters, they got everything. They got the shirt for this very program. You can pick that up over at WeLoveFine.com. And we're back. Upcoming conventions. We're going to go through the conventions real quick. Upcoming next, Everfree. Everfree Northwest is going to be July 5th through 7th at Seattle. And they just added Sibsy and Amy Keating Rogers. So if you want to meet those people, you want to get there. Sweet Apple Acres is going to be July 12th through 14th in Nashville, Tennessee. And who else would they have? With Michael Dangerfield, voice of Brayburn, Lee Tokar, and Michelle Krieber are who are going to be there. BronyCon's coming up. BronyCon's coming up fast. August 2nd through 4th in Baltimore. Just announced M.A. Larson, as well as this lovely lady right here, Nicole Oliver. Yay. Absolutely. Yay, yay, yay. EuropeCon's coming up. GalaCon, August 3rd, 4th in Ludwigsburg, Germany. Andrea Libman and Peter New are going to be there, as well as Anili Heed, as well as Michael Pan, who's the German voice of Discord, and Julie Basquez, I think that's how you say it, the French voice of Rarity. I bet that sounds awesome. And then Buck. Buck is also coming up. Buck is going to be August 23rd through 25th. Manchester, UK. Cindy Morrow has been announced. Cindy Morrow is going to be there, as well as the Summer Sun Celebration concert, and that's going to have Living Tombstone, Acoustic Brony, Glaze, General Mumble, and a whole lot more. So if you love your Brony music, get to Buck if you're in Europe. And with that, we go into our charities. Charity work. Brenda Crislow, the YWCA of Vancouver, we raised $300. $300 for that charity. And we have a bag of swag right here, which has all the stuff we went over before, with the socks and with the comic and mini blind bags and the box of Season 2 trading cards. And we're going to draw for that right now. And that is a giveaway. Here we're going. Brand new hat. Check out the hat. So we're going to pick right now for that charity. Who do we got? Chan Jun Yao. You win that. And I will contact you after the show for your contact. Okay, get rid of those. Now we're going to go into, and you know, Andrea Libman busted it on the ride last weekend. No problem whatsoever. Going from Vancouver to Seattle. The Seattle Bronies met her there, cheered her on. It was awesome. Awesome. She, lots of money. We actually gave $733 from our gang. And that means you get this bag of swag over here with the Fluttershy brushable, the Pinkie Pie brushable, and this sticker right here, which is a vinyl scratch. But you also get What's this over here? Oh my God, it's a pillow signed by Andrea Libman. So all of that stuff is with these names right here. Now I'm going to just pick this one out right here. And that goes to Porpoise Muffins. Porpoise Muffins? You get that. That's awesome. That's a wonderful name, Porpoise Muffins. So you get that stuff. Now, we're going to put our hat on. We're going to get serious. Miss Nicole Oliver,
Yes.
tell us a bit about your charity.
My charity?
Yeah.
Well, it's Heart and Stroke Foundation at BC Yukon up here in Canada. It's the American Heart Association, I think, in the States.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a charity very dear to my heart, pun intended, because my father passed away of a heart attack at the age of, I guess it was 52. And that was in 1995 he died. So leaving, 3 kids, still very young at a time when it would have been great to have a dad and around for support. I know from my brothers, they've missed that. He's never met my husband, didn't see me walk down the aisle, graduate with my master's, or hasn't really met my kids, but I believe he's met them anyway. So I just think we can give money to those good people to do more research and to get the word out there to take care of your health and take care of your heart. It would be much appreciated.
Absolutely. So, the wonderful prize for that charity is going to be a signed Talking Celestia. Signed by Nicole Oliver, which I obtained at Everfree Northwest. Oh, no, Equestria LA, Equestria LA.
Yeah.
So, yes. So it is somewhere else. I don't have it right here. I'll show it on the next show. But I do have it. It's upstairs, and that will be the prize. If we crack, that will be the prize. If we crack $500. Only if we crack $500. I will throw in another box of trading cards season 2. Okay, only if we break $500. So go to manleysbrony.com and you will click the link to go and give your bits to this wonderful charity. Okay, and we're on. Absolutely. We love to help around here. Love to help. Yes. So now, you know what? Screwball!
Yo.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Screwy.
Hey.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty good.
Check out the new logo.
Ages.
Check out the new logo, buddy.
I know.
That one's awesome.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
My God.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I love it.
I think we need to make a patch out of that one. That would be awesome. Screw Loose. Hey, Screw Loose, you around? We need patches.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
I think Screwler should get on that. Do it, Billy.
Yes.
Do it.
Questions from the live studio audience. Do we have any?
I've been getting some for the past 2 weeks.
Nice. 2 weeks.
I'm not kidding.
You're a popular mayor there, Nicole.
That's awesome. Yay!
Yay.
That's great.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna go back quite a ways to the ones that were submitted a while back.
Okay.
So this one is from Parasol. Question to you, Nicole, is has the Brony fandom affected your life? If so, then in what way?
Oh my word. Way to start with an easy question. Has it affected my life? It has, for sure, in a very positive way. I don't think I would have thought doing cartoon My Little Pony would have opened up the opportunity for me to meet so many amazing people from all over. I feel really fortunate, and the feeling in the fandom of support and of community is something that's very important to me, and it's a really lovely fit, and it's a lovely treat, and I love going out to the conventions and meeting people and hearing how the show has made them laugh or made them feel better or inspired them to do things. But I think the thing that I am blown away the most by the fandom is just the creativity that the show has inspired. Be it people making nail polish, or people deciding they're going to start charities and give back, or do work in their own community. Just the creative inspiration has been mind-boggling and fantastic and inspiring. So keep it up, and yeah, it's a pleasure to be a part.
Awesome. So this one is from Kyle Tonarella. I'm pretty sure I said your last name wrong, but question is for you, Nicole. Do you feel like aspects of Celestia reflect your own personality?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I always have been, even before I, went down the path of being a mother. I've always really like to mentor people or help out, I've always had an ear for my friends to share their problems, and if they'd like advice, then I'll offer. If not, I'll just listen. And so I guess that's a part of Princess Celestia. That's very much a part of me. Her nurturing part is very much a part of who I am today, and have been, in the last little while, especially with my kids and my husband and my family.
Oh, yeah.
But that's a big part of my character. It's not a big stretch for me to be able to sing a song to somebody and say how proud I am of what they've done, because I see it every day in my kids and in my friends around me. So
if you weren't at Equestria or Everfree Northwest last year, you missed the most touching thing I ever saw, which was a little girl who was dressed as Daring Do, was very scared, she was the last person, came up to the microphone to ask a question, and basically ran back to her seat scared to death. And Nicole ran from where she was just to go and talk to her. And I cried. And I'm almost crying now. But yeah, it was very touching. And I've seen that out of her many, many times.
Oh, it takes a lot of courage to stand up and to let your voice be heard. And so I think we all can, when we recognize somebody doing that who might need a little bit of a help, is to support people and letting their voice be heard.
Absolutely. Next.
So this one's from Pink Per Apple. Yeah, we're bringing this back. We back in EKLA, you said something about Discord and Celestia possibly going on a date. So, Pink Pearl would like to ask if you could put on Celestia's voice, and how would she go about asking Discord on the date?
Oh, I wouldn't ask Discord on the date. Let's be clear. I still am a lady. I mean, come on now. Really, we need the writers to be listening right now to make that happen. I just think it would be hysterical.
Yeah.
Things are beeping here.
That's all right. That's me talking to Screwball. Don't worry about it.
Okay, very good. How would I go about asking him on a date? I mean, I think I put the hint out there, so it's up to him. And if he chooses not to, then I'll just banish him to the moon. That's
to the moon.
Yeah, but I think it's a fun character, and I like the interaction of those two together. So I hope we get to see more of that.
Absolutely. So much fun.
Sorry.
Yes.
I'm just losing my thoughts here. So this one's from Gavin Jafferall. This is a toughie. Which historical figure do you think you guys relate to the most?
Which historical figure do I, as a person, relate to the most?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow, there's so many. I mean,
I'd have been on a really tough one.
Amelia Earhart for getting in a plane and flying it when people said women shouldn't do that sort of thing. There's a woman in Canada. Her name is Kim Campbell. She was the first female prime minister for a very short time. Margaret Thatcher. A little bit of a theme there. I admire people who follow their passion and don't let other people's opinions stop them from achieving what they want. So there's been a lot of, amazing characters in history, both men and women. And that's why they've become iconic figures, because they blazed trails. They didn't say no. They wouldn't move to the back of the bus or, so there's so many of them. But I get inspired by the big stories and the little stories too. So I think if you look around you, there's people that can inspire you right where you live.
Anywhere. Leif Erikson for jumping in a boat and going across the big blue water that nobody knew there was even an edge of.
Yes.
Basically, he ends up in Newfoundland and nobody even figures it out until long after the Pilgrims. So, him, Evel Knievel, for doing what he did. He basically was doing everything these kids do on modern dirt bikes with a freaking 900-pound Harley Davidson long before anybody thought of that it was cool, and made a living at it. And things like that. People like that don't take no for an answer and will make their own way.
Yeah, you got
awesome.
it.
I don't got one. That's way too hard for me. So this one is from Old Alfred to Nicole. What do you want your legacy to be?
Oh, these are easy questions. These are great.
You know what? My people, my group that comes to my show, deep people.
They're deep. I love it.
Deep people.
What do I want my legacy to be? Well, I guess I'll go back to my dad for a second, because when he passed away, he was chief operating officer of a very big computer company, and he put computer banking into the banks in England. And my dad started with IBM in the 60s, so he was a smart guy. But when he passed away, they maybe talked about that for 2 minutes, but they talked about his golf game, the number of golf clubs probably sitting at the bottom of the lake at the club he played at. They talked about his laugh, his larger-than-life laugh, and his love for his family. So at a very early age, it's really not what you do, it's how you do it that I think it leaves behind your legacy. So if I'm remembered to have been a kind woman that didn't take no for an answer, that always had a shoulder to lean on, a hand for a hand up, and a big laugh and hug for those tough moments, that would make me feel pretty great.
Wonderful. Next.
Oh my god, I wasn't even going for this one, but this is from Flare Cobra, and this is between Dusty and Nicole. Can you guys do a skit between Dusty and Cheerily?
What?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what? Maybe we'll think about something, and we'll do something at a convention. We got to prepare that.
Yeah, we got that's to be prepared.
We got
to
prep that.
We got to prep that. We got to prep that.
I'm holding you guys on to that.
Okay.
Make sure.
It depends on if Miss Oliver has time. Okay, if she wants to do that. So it's all up on her. She's the professional schedule. So if
we will figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll record something and maybe even put it up on YouTube. Who knows? But that's for after. So we'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out.
Next.
So also from Flare Cobra, there's to everyone. Has there been any good tricks or pranks pulled in recent memory?
Ooh.
Has there been any good tricks or pranks pulled where?
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
In recent memory.
Are you talking about between the cast of the show, or?
You know what? Go for that. I'd love to hear a story.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Well, I do like to pull pranks. I've been a little lackadaisical, lazy in that area. I haven't really had. They've got to be good ones.
Mm-hmm.
There has. No, I mean my children hide things on me all the time. That's my real life. I don't really find it funny. They do.
There you go.
I don't know why. Amongst the cast. Oh, I can't talk about that one. No, I can't. I can't. You know, we have a lot of fun. Come see us at a convention. We have a lot of fun.
Yes, we do.
Leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. Next. Oh, by the way, I have an announcement.
Oh.
I'm hosting the Men of MLP at Everfree Northwest again. So
nice.
If you were there at last year's panel, it was a laugh riot. So come on back because it's going to be good.
I totally still have Lee Tokar's mustache they had.
Cool. Let's keep going.
So this one is from Unova Brony. Question to you, Nicole. Which one of your voice acting jobs right now is considered to be your most favorite?
Oh my word. My most favorite. Yikes, it's like saying which kid do I like the best. You're making me do my Sophie's Choice. No! You know, they're all so different. I'm working with a very dear friend of mine on a dubbing project right now that I'm having so much fun with because I'm doing the voice of a 12-year-old boy. So that is fun for me as an actor. That's a great challenge, and it's something I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more known for the mentor roles, I guess, out there in the community. So that's been fun for me as an actor. I love playing Zoe Trent. She's awesome. She's fun. She's over the top. I love it when you do something, go, that's great, go bigger. That's when you know you're really having a good time. And I want to sing more, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, any of those sort of opportunities that get you to push your boundaries and stretch out a little bit are fun favorites for me. But I can't really just choose one. I can't.
Nah.
I have thousands of voices. I can't choose one.
No.
You can't make me. I won't.
No, we won't make you.
Okay.
I might.
Well, then I like my own because that's where it all starts from. So
That's true.
There you go.
That's true. But I like this purple mare teaches school.
Yeah, she's pretty fun.
She's sassy.
Sassy.
Love her.
Yep.
Next.
So this one is from Chris Sargent. Question to you, Nicole. What is your dream car?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm a bit of a car person.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Bentleys. Got to drive one. That was intimidating and fantastic at the same time. I'm actually going to test drive a vintage Mercedes tomorrow. That might be a little bit of fun. I love cars. I am a car person. My husband is not, but I am a car person. I had a BMW for a while that I just drove the crap out of. It's so much fun. That thing cornered like nobody's business. My friend called it the rolling nightclub, and my music turned up really loud. But if I had to choose just one car, I would probably choose the Bentley.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not an expensive car at all.
Yeah, it's not expensive at all. No, not at all.
Completely realistic.
Only costs about 5 seasons of My Little Pony.
Yeah, if I play all the characters.
If you play all the characters.
Yeah.
Because they get 3 out of you for the same price, right?
Oh, look, a moose.
Oh, look, a mouse.
Okay, look, a moose.
Oh, look.
No, we get paid per voice. Yeah, we do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. This one is from Snitch567. Question for Nicole. Can you give us a quote from the show as Princess Celestia?
What was his name again? The person that sent that to me?
Snitch567.
To my faithful student, Mitch567. Surely you could have thought of another question, but if you couldn't, I will say to you, keep working on your questions. But thank you for that one. No, but Mitch, I mean, a quote from, goodness me. You know, I love how Celestia, and I sign always to my faithful student. I think it just sets when she says that it sets the tone of the relationship, and you know there's probably some great ditty coming out of her mouth that you know, she pontificates. I mean, for me, I don't have writers writing my stuff, obviously, as we could just tell by my last improv. But yeah, I love her, my faithful student, and
I love the bit where Celestia, it's the want it needed spell goes bad, and then she has to come to Ponyville and fix the mess, and, and says, "Twilight, meet me in the library." And it's like, oh, go cut yourself a switch, girl. Go cut yourself a switch, because you're in trouble. And then she gets there and explains herself, and it's like, and she goes, "I have to get back to Canterlot. I'm expecting some mail." And which in that tone of, "You better write me."
When Celestia's angry, it's the scariest thing.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness!
Aren't you glad you don't live in my house then?
Yes. No. We don't want to live there. Mm-mm-mm.
No, yeah, that voice my kids do.
Don't get on the bad side of Nicole.
Nope.
Oh.
Next.
So this one is from BF3 Pony. Question for Nicole. What was your favorite moment for season 3?
Oh, the song. I mean,
hell yeah.
How could it not be?
How could it not be?
As a performer, actually, you know, when I was singing that song, my father-in-law was in the hospital, and he passed away actually a couple days after I recorded that song. So it was a very tough time for me as a person to be performing and then doing something so emotional, trying to keep things in check. But it was that, I think that had to be my favorite moment for a lot of reasons. Yeah. Just the emotion in it, the idea behind it, it kind of sums up lots of things and allows for a lot of possibilities going forward too. So
absolutely. I think early in the season when Princess Luna and Celestia flashed this black book at the end of at the end of the Crystal Empire, and it's like everybody thought, "Oh my God, it's the Kingdom checkbook." Is she ready to? Is she ready to balance the Kingdom's checkbook? That's what we were thinking for months, and it's like all of a sudden, oh, it's Star Swirl the Bearded's thing. Oh, awesome.
Oh, you know, I wish in some ways we should start to do is live tweet when they air.
Yeah.
Don't you think that would be fun?
That would be fun. I know that Megan McCarthy does some live tweeting when they air. And it's like, ooh, what do you think that was? And there we go. As soon as an episode goes, we all go Twitter happy. It's like, did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? What did that mean? Oh my God! Yeah,
so that would be fun. That'd be fun to do. I gotta try and make that happen.
Yeah. That'd be sweet.
Look, we're just coming up with all sorts of ideas here, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Changing the world.
That's what we do. That's what we do around here on Stay Brony, my friends. Screw it. Yeah. Let's go.
Yo.
Let's do it.
Yo. Okay, I can do it. So this one is from Heart Healer.
Hello?
For Nicole.
Hello?
Now that you're... so the question is, now that your son has started his own acting career, has he started considering other avenues of acting, like voice acting or theater?
Oh, absolutely. Voice acting, to be honest, that was sort of what I was hoping would catch first for my kids, because from a parent perspective, you record a show, maybe, one show a week for 4 hours in the studio, so he could still be in school and be with his friends and then just go do something really cool for a couple hours, and it wouldn't impact his time as a kid so much, That's why I think it's such a great thing for child performers to be involved in animation. Plus, they learn how to read out loud and lift words off the page and all stuff that are great skills to have moving forward in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, he decided to go work on the other side of the country first. But anyway, as these things happen, yeah, I think he'd love to do some cartoon stuff. It's been difficult because he's kind of tied down with the TV show right now. So the sort of freedom he has to pursue other things is a little edgy, but I would not be surprised that comes his way. And I know my other son, Grady, that's an area of big interest for him. So yes, we will continue to grow the Ainscough Oliver dynasty, and I'll retire. Not now.
Not now.
One day, though. And they can keep their mother happy and in shoes. There you go.
Many, many shoes.
Yes.
Yes. You heard it, Bronies. You want to make Nicole happy, bring her shoes.
What's your
Size
shoe
9.
size? We can figure it out.
Size 9.
There you go. 9.
Sounds good.
Next.
You're gonna get a flood of mail suddenly. So this one is from
James Justice!
Okay.
Our resident superhero. Yes. A man who can manipulate cornflakes with his mind.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes. Resident superhero James Justice. What does James want to know this week?
James wants to know, question for Nicole, what is your favorite moment of experience that you had since you first heard about the Brony fandom?
Oh, again, another easy question.
Oh, yeah.
He always brings these tough ones.
Yep.
Some of my favorite, well, I've had quite a few. Everfree with, I just love when there's kids around, obviously, in the looks on their face when they try and figure out that the voice comes from me.
Mm-hmm.
I love that because it just, especially the little ones, they don't quite get it. And you can kind of see their mind being blown as they're trying to put stuff together. So that's cool. I had fun with y'all in Las Vegas, I gotta say.
Yes, we
that
did.
Was pretty outstanding.
Ooh, yeah, we did.
It was a lot of fun. And
I got plenty of incriminating pictures.
I looked fabulous. It's fine.
You
can share
did.
them.
You looked fabulous. You all looked fabulous.
Too.
Wonderful picture of you, Andrea, and Brenda on the couch.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was fun.
That was the one I took. Woo!
Yeah, you did.
Mhm.
But it was just fun, talking in a nice, casual manner in this kind of iconic space. It was great. I think probably I've talked about it at a convention, but one of my favorite moments so far was when a young fan at my son's school came up to me, and it was someone who this young man has really turned his life around, went from being a bit of a troublemaker to volunteers at the school, and he babysits at the PAC meetings, and he's really turned himself around, and he's a Brony and proud of it, and I think that's really cool when you can see the show, something you're involved with, impacting youth in a positive way. I think that's great.
Yeah. I have a bit of a story for you. Baron Engel, the artist, everybody knows Baron. Baron's been on the show. Actually works at an art supply store, University Art here in San Jose. And a lady came in with her daughter who was dragging a Princess Celestia doll with her. And he thought that was so cute because he's a Brony, and all of a sudden the child was acting up a little bit. And Mom turned to her and said, "Now, what would Princess Celestia say?" And she immediately went and started behaving. Immediately. And I was like, whoa. And he went, whoa. It works. The show works.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. That's great. Aw.
Next.
So cool.
So this one is from Dragon77777. So many sevens. Question for Nicole. What's your favorite present that you received at a convention?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I have received an embarrassment of lovely gifts from people, from drawings, letters, personal letters, artwork. But probably the one that blew me away the most was that beautiful Princess Celestia plushie that I received in Las Vegas. The thing was huge, but the craftsmanship on it was just
oh my goodness, that one and the Luna together. Oh my.
over the top, over the top, and that's it's pretty. That was amazing. I mean, everything is amazing, but that one was just. It was crazy. It was mind blowing. Yeah.
We have a white dove Celestia right here in the house, by the way.
You have a what? Sorry?
White dove Celestia. You know White Dove. She does all the really awesome plushies.
Yes.
Yes. And my roommate Carolyn bought a Celestia, and she's right here on my lap.
Hi.
She is so cute. So cute. She says hello. Yeah.
Hi, me. No.
Yeah, absolutely.
Weird. All right.
Next.
So this one is from Ramble. Question to you, Nicole. Obviously, there's been some concerns regarding Equestria Girls. Did you have any reservations about the spinoff before seeing the script, and how do you feel looking back on it?
I gotta tell you, when we record here, okay, here's the truth. I was so crazy busy between work and flying back and forth all over the place that I went in to do a session, and I wasn't there when we recorded all together. I had to do a pickup session because I was traveling so much for work. I went in, and it took me till about halfway through to realize that I was human. And then I just went, wait a minute, what's going on?
What the heck?
And Jason Thiessen is like, oh, yeah. So anyway, it's just we're thinking about, but you can't say anything. And I'm like, well, So it was, I mean, so clever. They're so clever because, the fandom had been asking for, parts of the fandom had been asking for that. And, so I thought it was an interesting concept. I mean, it's art, it's a choice. So I have not, I didn't go down to Los Angeles for the premiere this past weekend. I was working here, but I heard it was well received. And I mean, the people behind it are so brilliant. I mean, Jason, DHX, it's going to be quality. So it may or may not be your cup of tea. And like I said at the top of the show, that's your choice. And for others, it'll be great. But I think it was fun and it was kind of like a little bit like Alice in Wonderland-ish, going down the rabbit hole, right? Going through the mirror, going to another reality. So, I think it's cool.
Yep. Me and the girlfriend are going to go see it this weekend. It shows this weekend in Cupertino, so we're going to go see it.
Cool.
So, I'm really looking forward. So
tweet me a picture in front of the poster.
I will.
Okay?
I will.
Okay.
Absolutely. Next, three.
So let's start. There it is. So this one's from Firestorm. Nicole, what is the hardest acting role, voice or live action, that you have ever took?
Oh, wow. Hard. Hard can be for a variety of whether the part's hard or the environment for shooting might have been difficult. One of my most challenging acting roles was I was working on a show in Toronto called Side Effects, and anyway, I had to go film the day after my father died. So my dad died August 1st, and I had to go shoot all day August 2nd because the show was going on summer hiatus for a month, right? So we couldn't reschedule it because of delivery times and everything, because that episode was going to be airing shortly after they all came back, right? So that was challenging, obviously. I just worked on a show called Rogue, and that was a challenging set to be a part of. It was really, the content was very risque. I mean, as an actor, probably one of my most amazing times working with the lead actor, Martin. so creative. Our scene together was very, very aggressive, and lots of, he's trying to get information out of me, and so that was a real challenge to do. I mean, I had bruises around my neck the next day and stuff and on my back from being shoved up against the counter, and he didn't want to hurt me, but you have to convey the reality of it. So you have a stunt guy that makes sure you're padded and everything, but if you do something 100 times, it's gonna leave a mark.
Gonna leave a mark. Yeah.
Nothing you can do about it. So
let's do it again.
Two challenging things for different reasons, and but that's what I love about it. I like to get, if something freaks me out or scares me, I know I probably should do it. It's a good indicator,
Yeah, you were a stunt woman too for a while, weren't you? You tried some stunts.
I had, I've done a lot of my own shooting and work and stuff like that, and I did some stunts in Darkman 2. I was given a character off the top of the show, but it required me doing all my own stunts because there was a big car chase, and I'd have to hang out the car window and shoot a gun. And so my stunt coordinator, who was stunt coordinator of this film for Universal, Steve Luchesky, called me and said, "Hey, I think you'd be great for this. The director saw your reel. He knows who you are. He think you'd be great for this too. Can you come meet him? It just means you're going to have to hang out of a car going 50 miles an hour and unload your gun and reload as you're going around corners." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? How much fun does that sound?" Right?
Yeah. Sign me up.
And there was a big car roll. I mean, I wasn't in that, obviously, because I'm not that crazy, but I'm not that professional. I'll leave that to the professionals. But it was a week's work of screaming all around downtown Toronto between nightfall and dawn, and it was so much fun, so much fun. But I was very bruised after that week. That's for sure. But it was cool. Yeah, I like doing my own stunts if I can.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Next.
This one is from Bot117. Question is for all. What did you do on Father's Day?
On Father's Day, we made breakfast for my husband in bed, and then we, that was just yesterday, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then we, in Vancouver, they have something called car-free days. So they close down certain streets, and all the vendors, and the food trucks come out, and it's so amazing. So Main Street was closed for, let me think, 21 blocks, and so we walked up and down and went for tacos and beer, and I think I tweeted a picture actually, and had fun, and then went to a friend's house for barbecue dinner, and they showed a movie outside. So that was our day. It was a really great day.
Cool.
Yeah.
So do they have the gourmet food trucks up there, like we have down here? Ooh,
yeah. Oh yeah.
We got the
So
lobster bisque truck. We got the cupcake truck. Oh
yeah.
wonderful.
We have. Yeah, I think they're trying to put together a food truck festival.
Nice.
So they'll all kind of convene in one area.
Here the food trucks all got together in their own collective, so they actually move from parking lot to parking lot every day. So basically on Fridays it's at one place, and Thursday it's another place, all around the Bay Area. So it's like every Friday it's like a mile from where I get off of work. So it's like zip right there.
Well, we have many food trucks. There's a big the city is a really big supporter of the program, and they're scattered all over Vancouver.
Nice.
So yeah, great food everywhere.
For me yesterday, I called my dad, and my mom were out at a conservation club doing a shoot, and that was awesome. And then I did a 12,000 mile service on my friend's V-Strom Suzuki, and I was going to do some work on another bike, but the gentleman lost the original parts. So I have to order some parts for his bike to work on it next weekend. And I'll practice my bass and spent some time with Amy, my wonderful girlfriend. And we had dinner, and that was it. So, wonderful day.
I worked.
And Screwball says, I worked.
How do you feel about that, Screwball?
How do you feel about Screw? Yeah, not quite clear, Screw.
It was very, very busy at work because everyone was doing their late night shopping.
Father's Day sale.
Yeah, Father's Day. I work at Future Shop, so. Yeah, it was pretty hectic, busy. And by the time I got home, my mom and dad were out at lunch or supper, so I was like, oh, I guess it's a forever alone night. So I just played video games.
No, Screwball is not forever alone. Not in my house.
Well, I missed. I'm a big True Blood fan, so I missed the premiere last night. So I'm watching it tonight. I have it all. I'm when I come back, I'm actually going to a baseball game with my kids tonight. They're there.
Yeah.
And then when I come back from that, I'll be watching what I didn't watch last night because it was Father's Day. So there you go.
Sweet.
So nobody tweet me any spoilers.
Nope.
No, don't do that. So this one is from Leo Hardship. Question for Nicole. If you could write a friendship report to Celestia, what would it contain?
I'd probably ask her for a bigger pair of patience pants. If I write a friendship report to her, what would it contain? It would talk about the value of long-term time friends and people maybe you don't see that often, but who are very close to you, and that friendship you have to work at. Always, no matter how long a friendship has been around for. And I would probably also say to her, in terms of friendship, that I'd like a girls' night out. If she could help facilitate that for me, that would be great.
Yeah, I think maybe you should call up Andrea. I think she could help you with that.
Oh, I know. Yes, for a chit chat. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe go shoe shopping on a weekend. I don't know.
That sounds great with a martini pit stop in the middle.
Martini,
there you
yeah.
go.
Hey, Andrea. Call it. Yeah. There you go. Next.
So this one's from Apple Lurker. Question for Nicole. What is your favorite book?
Oh. Well, my favorite book. I have to say, I really, really, really loved the Twilight series when it came out. I was one of those, and I also loved the, I was late to the table with it, but the Catching Fire, Hunger Games, all that kind of stuff, that was awesome. So I'm actually I want another series to read. I have the Game of Thrones books that I am going to be taking with me out to Halifax. So I'll be doing so I'll take that out, and actually that's my plan with all the traveling I have coming up in the fall. I'll read these books, and I want to watch Game of Thrones from the beginning. So that'll be my fall viewing reading schedule will be all Game of Thrones.
I hear it's very good.
Yes, I didn't see all of season 1. I saw most of season 2, and I'm spotty this season. So I'm just going to watch it from the beginning again and just, OD on it. Should be great.
As an actor, I've always wanted to ask this question. If you get into a book or you get into a TV show like that, and you see a character that really talks to you, do you ever see that character how you would play that character? Would you change that character? Does that go through your mind?
I mean, so if I read a book and a character relates to me, do I have an opinion on how I would if I was going to play it?
Yeah,
you mean?
yeah. So say you read Game of Thrones, then you watch Game of Thrones on HBO, and then you say, okay, well that actress played her this way, but I read the book. How would I play that character? Does that always go through your mind?
That does. I think it goes. You don't have to be an actor to have that go through your mind. That's why so many people are so scared when they're going to adapt books into film, right? Because we all have our own private movie when we read that we become quite attached to when we read a book, right?
Yeah.
So to have somebody else try and make that universal for so many, you're going to end up disappointing people. So, I mean, I think the one I like the Alex Cross character from James Patterson's books, and Morgan Freeman brought him to life in the movies first, and then Tyler Perry just did his interpretation, which I thought was really cool. So those two actors, their interpretation of this kind of iconic crime mystery character, I thought was really, really great.
Sweet. Next.
So this one is from Edmund Printer. Question for A question for all. If Cheerleader Celestia got an episode to themselves, what do you think a good potential story would be?
Ooh.
Oh.
Hmm.
Well, I still would like to see a story where we get to understand why Celestia is how she is, right?
Right.
I can't imagine her coming out of the room being this all-knowing, maybe pontificating individual. I mean, there'd have to be some life lessons she went through. So I'd love to see that. For Cheerily, just because I love working with Peter New so much, I think they should take a love potion again. That would be outstanding.
There you go. I'd like to see a day in Celestia's life as a monarch. What she has to go through from the time she gets up and combs her mane to the time she goes to bed and gives it over to her sister. It's like,
Right.
What does she have to go through to actually run a kingdom? Okay, she has all these ponies everywhere, and then she has to deal with this, and then that one little cup of tea where she gets to read the friendship report, and that's her whole day. She looks toward the whole day to get this letter, so she can calm down with her tea, kind of thing. That would be an awesome episode, I think. And for Cheerily, I think, I don't know, there was a bunch of movies like Teachers or things like that from the 80s that had really neat storylines where a teacher would come into a troubled school and help fix it.
Yeah, Lean on Me. That was with Morgan
Lean on,
Freeman.
that was it, yes.
There you go.
There you go. So, yeah, I'd like to see something like that.
Cool.
Next.
Ooh, so this one is from Firemain. Zoe looks like a dog version of Twilight, and since Nicole voices both PC and Zoe, thought it would be funny.
Zoe looks like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, it's from the same animation
Yeah.
studio, so it's not a big shock that the style would overlap a little bit. Zoe's always been purple.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
love purple.
Everyone
and
always does that joke, yeah.
what so he wants to hear, what does he want to hear? I'm not clear what he wants to hear.
I wasn't clear on that either.
That's how it's worded. Fireman, help me out here.
Next.
I'm guessing doing both voices of, he says PC and Zoe.
Oh, well, I mean, if you were to do a Freaky Friday where they swapped characters,
Wow, that'd be neat.
Princess Celestia as Zoe would be more over the top than even Rarity,
Yeah.
right? I mean, Zoe is way more diva. She's like total divalicious than Rarity is. So, Princess Celestia's mane would be flowing even more. I'll tell you that much. And then Zoe as Princess Celestia that just doesn't make sense to me. That would be weird. That dog doesn't have enough. She's like Twilight. She's got a lot to learn about how to interact with people and how to be gracious, and she's a flawed character, which is why it's fun to play her, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, so some people call Zoe Twilight Barkle.
Yeah, there's lots
I've
of
heard that constantly.
Twilight Sparkle. There you go.
Next.
So this one is from KJR. A question for Nicole. What advice would you give to someone wanting to be a voice actor when they get older?
Yeah. Well, I've always said that voice is just an adjective to the word actor. So that if you want to be a voice actor, you need to go study acting. You need to understand the art of how to create characters, whether it's just your voice creating it. Even though it's just your voice, you're still using your body and your face when you're behind that microphone to get your emotions and intentions across. So I'd say take acting classes, understand how to break down scripts, understand what intentions are, what your objective might be, what tactics you might use, and then for voice specifically, it'd be training your voice, taking care of it. Don't smoke. Take care of your instrument. But go to a class, get yourself to a class and learn what it means to put yourself out there, and then and then go for it. And if that's really your area of expertise, it will find you and you'll find it. But don't limit yourself so quickly.
Unless you're going for one of these gravelly voices like this. But even then, you don't really need to smoke, you see. You can do it anyway.
Exactly.
So this one is from Pink Pearl Apple. What is Celestia's favorite cake?
Cake.
Cake. Well, Nicole's favorite cake. Celestia. I think I answered. I thought if Celestia liked a cake, it would probably be an angel cake, an angel food cake,
Angel food cake.
light berry,
yes.
lots
Light
of big colors in it. Like
Yes,
that
yes,
would
yes.
be her cake. If I'm gonna eat it, it's gotta have a lot of dark chocolate, gooey, lovely fantasticness in it. Because I just
Also put strawberries in it and some whipped cream.
yeah. Or a shortcake. You're talking about a shortcake.
Angel cake.
An angel shortcake. There
Yes,
you go.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. Moving on.
Where did I put you?
I don't know. Where did you put me?
I'm talking to myself.
I love my screwball.
Sorry, I just had one saved for the moment.
Sorry.
Sorry.
That's all right.
The arrow makes fun of me because I say sorry too much and I'm Canadian. It always. Ooh, here we go. So here it is. So this one's from Leo Hardship. Question for all. Throughout your careers, what interesting places has it taken you to?
Goodness me.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to travel a lot throughout my career, my 22 and a half odd years I've been doing this. My frequency of travel for work has certainly increased because of the show in the last little bit. New York. I love New York. I mean, Los Angeles is great, but I love New York. I love that city. And Chicago. Chicago is a great town.
Oh,
That was probably, I loved Chicago. But, getting to go to New York to do some work and then also maybe catch a Broadway show, that's pretty fantastic.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
I would have to say New York was pretty boss, but before any of this happened to me, I went to Taiwan and to South Korea, and Tainan was pretty damn cool. The people that I was working with took me to a Buddhist temple. They took me to a midnight market. They took me a whole bunch of places. It was awesome. I love Taiwan. Taiwan was an awesome place to visit. So I probably have to say Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
That's a distance, dear lord. Shoot. See, I don't have a career, but the conventions alone is the most I've ever traveled, really. So, going all over the place to like Los Angeles and Vegas and Seattle and those sort of places has been a blast. So, those are definitely awesome.
Hey, Screwy.
YOLO.
We're right up against it, buddy. We're up against the end of the show. So give me that one question you've been saving. I know you've been saving it.
I gotta take this one from Draco, actually. This
Okay.
from Draco from Blue Screen Bronies. Question
Okay.
for Nicole. Saw you voiced a few video game characters, like in Warhammer 40k. Did you enjoy video game voiceovers, and are there any games past or present you wanted to voice for?
Oh, I love video games. I'm actually working on one this week, but I can't tell you about it. But when it comes out, it's gonna be really great.
Sweet.
I love doing the Farseer because it was the British accent and very Kate Blanchett, from Lord of the Rings, the elf and pontificating, and so that was fun. And I just, it's fun to do all the fighting bits and everything. Although after 4 hours of it, it's a little much.
Oh, yeah. Bunch of yelling.
Yeah, and I guess in terms of any video game, I don't know about voicing, but I want to be the dancer inside of the dance, the video game where
like Dance Dance Revolution or just Dance.
They're so good. I want that.
There you go. Got one more question from Kara when he asks, what's your favorite cocktail?
Oh, depends on my mood. Vodka martini, let's say with Grey Goose vodka, very chilled, straight up with a Scotch mist. 3 olives, preferably one stuffed with garlic. How's that?
She has an opinion on this, obviously. Yes.
I do.
And with that, we're at the end of the program. I don't have my list of shows for the week because I lost it. So I won't be calling out the shows for the week this week. We'll do something on the video side. So
Dusty, you had one job.
I had one job and I flubbed it up, didn't I? You know what? I've said it so many times on this show. I think everybody knows, what wonderful original content we have here on Everfree Network. So go and check it out on the website, everfree.net. And with that, I want to thank Screwy, Caredwin, Amy, my lovely girlfriend, Cowboy Dave for making it so good on the YouTubes, the Roundstable, and for the EFN, all of you guys for coming every time we have a show to check us out. And this is because we make ourselves look stupid every time we do it. But here we are, and you keep coming back, so it's awesome. Also, I want to mention that I did do a little bit of voice acting in a role called Maritine in a little YouTube video, Tugs Tales from Sudor. So that's done by Cam Jones. Check that out. We'll have a link to it on the YouTube stream. And also, I don't like ending on a really sad note, but we did lose Kiki this week. We lost Kiki to her cancer, and it was a very sad time. So the ending of the show this week is dedicated to Kiki. So a little video tribute to her. I never did get to meet her, but I really wish I had. So to Ami and his family, and to Kiki, love you. And goodbye.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We hate to leave you, but we'll be back soon. Good night, sweetheart. Good night. Good night, sweetheart. Good night.
Living, which is go on camera. And after I finished screaming and banging my head against the wall, I said, okay, we'll give you a try. You can go to an acting class and let's see how it works out. He went, and, both my kids have been on sets with me since they were in my belly, and they've had opportunities that maybe other kids wouldn't have. They've been in, some independent films, or they've done some voice spots. So it's not completely foreign or a crazy idea that maybe, my kids might want to go into the business. But his first 2 auditions he booked, and it was
Nice.
It was a supporting lead in a film that's coming out later this summer or fall for Warner Brothers called Hidden with Alexander Skarsgård. And then his second audition was for a half-hour sitcom up here called Seed, and he booked that. And then when the producers realized that I was his mama, they gave me a part of his teacher. So I was in a couple of episodes, and the show's been picked up for a second season. And
Nice.
so he's been having some incredible success for a kid who's just 9, but he really loves it, and so we'll support him.
Awesome. Sweet.
Yeah.
Does he ever kid you that he's been on all 13 episodes and you were only in a couple?
No, because I still make his dinner.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can't kid mom because she won't make you your favorite dinner.
No, he's got a really great attitude about it, and he has a lot of fun with it. And, what we're trying to do, my husband and I, is just try and keep things as real and normal as possible, because being a child in this business is not normal.
Yeah.
And there's so many tragedies walking around out there right now that I'm in mind. So I'd really rather not contribute one more victim to that. So, I think if you have a strong parental support and strong sense of family, hopefully this will just be a really great memory for him. And if it ends up being his career, then so be it.
Cool. Hey, Nicole?
What?
Are you cracking those walnuts really close to your microphone?
No, I may have picked up my water to have a drink.
That's weird because we're getting a lot of crunchy noises on this end.
No.
No?
It could be maybe my my locket with my children's pictures in it.
Yeah, that might be it.
You think it's jangly bangly?
Dangly bangly, yeah. We got some dangly bangly going on. Oh yeah, that's a lot of that. There we go.
There you go.
Okay, we wanted to make sure it's nice and crystal clear so everyone can hear you. Sure. Okay, hey, what's this about a couple of closets full of shoes?
Oh, where did you read that?
Oh, I read that in certain places. We have deep moles that go deep in the internet. Deep.
Yeah, I love shoes. I love shoes.
Uh-huh.
I think we've talked about that a couple of times. It's something passion I think Andrea Libman and I both share is for shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have got I've managed to cut my collection down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love me my shoes.
Uh-huh.
So
You and my girlfriend Amy get along. She's
You're watching Everfree Radio.
How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to the West Coast, San Jose, California. Your boy Dusty, right here for you on Monday night. How has your 2 weeks been? How's your 2 weeks been? You been having a good time? We've had conventions everywhere. TrotCon was last weekend. Everybody who went had a great time, I hear. Equestria Girls premiere happened. That happened. We'll talk about a little bit of that. But right now, I am here with the lovely and talented Princess Celestia herself, Nicole Oliver. Nicole. Hello. How are you?
I'm brilliant.
Brilliant, she says. Oh, I am awesome. I hear your cashews.
Sorry, I'm eating cashews because I just did a run.
Yes.
And I have to have protein.
Get that protein. Get that protein in as fast as possible. Yes.
So I'll try not to chew too loud.
Okay. Not a problem. You know what? The princess can eat her cashews on her throne whenever she wants to. The rest of this we royal guard will stand there and guard the cashews.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's go right into it because we got a wonderful slate of questions right here for you. You know what? Doing some research on you, amazing the things that you do and into.
Okay.
First one. You're on the negotiation committee for the Union of British Columbia Performers?
I
Still?
have been. I kind of stepped back from that.
Oh.
The last couple of years I've been traveling a lot, but yeah, I did
Yeah.
labor negotiations for a long time.
Wow. Tense in those bargaining negotiations up there? As bad as Hollywood? You know?
Oh, really tense. Really different approach as opposed to maybe going from an emotion base or going more from your brain, right?
Right.
Factual. Yeah.
Cool. Nicole, I have to ask you, the microphone that you're using, is it like on your headphones?
No.
It's crazy because we get a lot of like rustling paper sound when you talk.
I'm just sitting here in front of my computer.
That's weird. Maybe it's me. I don't know. Oh, we'll keep going. My fault.
Yeah, I don't have any paper around.
Nope, it's just,
me.
I don't know what's going on. I jinxed it.
Not me,
I
not
jinxed
me.
it before the show. I'll tell you later. Reality TV, you put
Yes.
your dainty hoovies into reality TV for a little while with Crash Test Mommy. In where you were the hostess, the associate producer, and the field director. You were in that up to here. Tell us a little bit about that project, of how that came off.
Yeah, it was shortly after the birth of my second son, so around 2005, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my career. I wanted to change things up a little bit. I just had kids, and so trying to figure out what my next step would be. And the reality TV genre had really started to explode around that time. And a conversation with someone led to another conversation, and they were doing this show called Crash Test Mommy, which was about a woman, any mother who feels she gets criticized for her parenting. And so her biggest critic will step into her shoes for 48 hours and show really how easy it all is. And having two young children, I mean, when I started doing the show, my kids were 6 weeks and 20 months old.
Wow.
It appealed to me, the idea of kind of, supporting the motherhood. And yeah, so we did this show. It was 52 hours produced television, and did it till my son Grady was 5 years old, and learned a lot. The reality genre is fun to watch. It's hard to be a part of because you're dealing with real people, and some of the situations were very emotional, and like a script or you know how it's going to end, right? And so that I found that really challenging. And while I would not say no to going back into the reality genre, I want to make sure that there was at least some protocols and procedures in place for people who were involved as participants if they felt they needed to get some extra help or something. Because you really dive into people's dirty clothes, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
and that's a big responsibility, and one I really didn't think about until I was stuck in the middle of it. So, but it was a fun experience for sure.
What as the fun experiences? What was the craziest, weirdest thing that happened on that show?
The time we took mother away, and her husband stayed at home with the kids, and the mother's boyfriend showed up where we were. Yeah, that was a little weird.
Oh my! Yeah, the pair of zombie pumps.
Oh my goodness!
Yes, got teeth across the front, green. Oh, nice. Zombie pumps. Yes, I got to get you a picture of the zombie pumps.
Yes, you do. You
Oh,
have to
yeah.
send me a picture. Yeah. Oh, I'm afraid I only have Gucci or Prada. That's about as weird as I get. I don't
Gucci or
have
Prada? Ooh.
Yeah, it's very straightforward, but very lovely nonetheless.
Little Pet Shop. You are the leading character, Zoe Trent.
Zoe,
Zoe. When you're in a role like that every episode, are you more involved in the show's production, or are you just showing up and doing the character?
Well, we, in general, as voice actors, we don't, unless you are a writer on the show, I mean, you're not really creating the characters, and the character's arc is created long before you show up.
Okay.
However, as a voice actor, or as an actor, you bring your personality, your stamp, and your interpretation, and that sometimes can affect how they write for the character in future episodes. So, I mean, certainly we worked really closely with the creators and trying to find a sound for her. I based her on Kim Cattrall from Sex and the City. That was a real kind of Samantha, that kind of tone, that playfulness, that for me, her voice print, and I think for the producers as well, really kind of rang true for them of how they wanted Zoe to sound. So, and I think it's I love Sex and the City. I love Kim Cattrall. She's Canadian. So it's all lined up really great. But yeah, it's a fun character. She's exhausting.
Really?
Lots of energy, and I mean in a good way exhausting, but lots of energy, and yeah, it's fun, and working with, it's a big cast, and we're all in almost every episode, so it's a lot of fun. As compared to My Little Pony, sometimes there's just 3 or 4 or 5 of us, but with Little Pet Shop, there could be up to 10 actors in the room.
Wow.
And that's kooky. Yeah.
That's
but
a lot
fun.
of actors.
Yeah.
There's another series that you did, 1001 Nights.
Oh yeah.
In which you were the central figure, Shirazad, the storyteller. For shows like that, which you're like the lead character, was also the narrator. She was like the narrator in that show, rather than the action. do you perform the role differently when you become the narrator? Also, the actor and narrator on the show, or is it just you're going with the character and the narration flows as it flows?
Well, when you're told to narrate, or you're setting up, letting everybody know what the story is going to be about that they're about to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So you do need to be a little bit more clear, and make sure that the plot gets across, as opposed to maybe your character quirks and quarks, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So certainly, if I was a character, I may put ums and ahs and weird pauses and run through periods and all the rest of it. But when like in that case, Shahrazad, she was narrating stories, telling stories.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really important to tell the story, make sure people knew what they were about to see. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a different, it's really tense.
Mm.
Can you hear me a little bit better?
Yep, a little bit better.
Good. Yeah, well, I think the most powerful time we had was when the folks from SAG and AFTRA came up and joined us up here, and we all walked into the room together and kind of stood side by side to make our point, and I think our point was made.
Nice.
Can't bully us around.
Yes. So the studios have learned to fear you.
I don't know about fear, but maybe they'll listen a little more.
That would be nice. That would be nice. After you got your master's degree, you attended the Drama Academy of Oxford, England. Drama. What makes an actor learn at an academy like what did you've got your master's, you've gone now to Oxford, England. What did you take from that? What was the big thing that you got going to England?
Well, I mean, I got my master's just a couple of years ago. I went to England after I got my bachelor's.
Oh, okay.
But I guess the thing for me, what did I get the most out of going to England?
Yeah. As an actor.
Oh, well, how to do the accent properly.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
But for me, I just really, I got to work with actors from all around the world. So in my class were actors from Russia, from Italy, from the United States. There's a couple of us from Canada. And it just really taught me that, as artists, as performers, although we're very unique, each one of us, the challenges that you face as a performer are not just yours alone. Sometimes it feels like you're the only one with all the problems. And then you meet other actors who don't even speak your language, and you realize that, art is challenging no matter what language.
Yeah.
Or no matter what culture it's in. And there's a sense of brother and sisterhood meeting other artists from around the world and realizing, okay, I'm not alone, I'm not crazy. And, yeah, so that was probably the biggest thing I took from it, was just, the sense of community, which, I value to this day.
Awesome. Hey, there's this really, what?
Sorry, I don't want to butt in, but people are saying that the audio seems to be very low for Nicole.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Nicole, get a little closer to the mic there, Nicole.
I'm right on top of my computer.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think I can.
Mac.
Interesting. Let me, no.
But
I'm going to go to my control bar here and see if I can.
For me too.
Yeah.
Just check up on your audio.
I'm going to turn that up just a little bit. Try it again.
Hello.
That's better. That's
You
better.
guys figured it out? All
Yep.
right, cool.
Yep. I just turned you up a little bit.
Yay.
We're good. Hey,
Love
there's this show up there called Seed,
Yes.
in which you play opposite a dashing leading young man named William Ainscoft.
Yes.
Tell us a little about how that worked out.
My son, William, I have two boys, William and Grady. William last summer said he wanted to try what I do for